Charles Evans Whitaker was born February 22nd, 1901. He was an Associate Justice of the United States Supreme Court from 1957 to 1962. Whitaker was born on a farm near Troy, Kansas, and attended school until a freshman. He spent the next 2 years working on the family farm. However, Whitaker developed an interest in law by reading newspaper articles about criminal trials in the surrounding area. Whitaker later applied to the Kansas City School of Law. He gained admission on one condition: he must finish his high school education. Whitaker spent the next 2 years working with a private tutor in the area and finished his high school education. After the completion of his education, Whitaker gained acceptance into the Kansas City School of Law. One of his most famous pupils and tutors was Harry S. Truman. Whitaker graduated with a law degree in 1924. Whitaker developed a reputation as a very fair and honorable judge, and in less than a year after being appointed to the Court of Appeals, Whitaker was nominated by fellow Kansan Dwight D. Eisenhower to be the Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. Whitaker took the oath later that year in 1957. Whitaker became the first person to serve as a judge of a district court, a court of appeals, and then the Supreme Court. Whitaker suffered a nervous breakdown in the spring of 1962. Under the request of Chief Justice Earl Warren, Whitaker retired from the Supreme Court, citing workload and severe exhaustion. Whitaker was known as a swing vote. He would generally vote with the person who formulated the last argument, even if it was not the best. Whitaker was then appointed to the Chief Counsel of General Motors. He was a hard critic of the civil rights movement. He said that Martin Luther King was trying to tear the nation apart at its seams, and his disobedience was unlawful, unconstitutional, and unjust. Whitaker vehemently opposed the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Whitaker passed away at St. Luke's Hospital in Kansas City, Missouri in 1973. He is survived by his wife Winfred and 3 sons, Charles, Keith, and Gary. The federal courthouse in downtown Kansas City, Missouri is named after Charles Evans Whitaker.